All right. Our speaker tonight is Mike Conger, and I had the privilege of meeting Mike almost 30 years ago. He just told me tonight as I built his house back in '86, and he's still there, like John over here. He's a long timer. But anyway, he's been at Wallops for 40 years plus. But really, what I was you can ask me questions about that afterwards. But he's actually world known as a Fisbee tosser player, and he was very instrumental in the development of Fisbee golf back in 1976. He was a 1976 world champion, and he still holds the record for 65 and older of 148 meters for the longest distance. So, at that time, he's affectionately known as, sometimes I call him the old man, but we'll call him Captain Snap tonight.
Thanks, Ron. Nobody asked me for any 50-50 money.
Jack?
Jack?
Jack, fine him.
50 still?
Don't worry, you got plenty of time.
You gotta wake Jack up every now and then.
What's the going rate?
You get 3 tickets for $2, or you get 10 tickets for $5.
I mean, free dinner. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank
Another one over here.
you. You don't think better. Scott, I don't think better than you said.
Will you take my money?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're glad to take your money.
That's just like
While we're
Russ.
selling raffles, I just want to say thanks for letting me chat about one of my passions. It's affectionately known as Fisbee golf, but in the professional world, it's called disc golf. And this is just a miniature model of what a pole hole looks like. A Fisbee goes into here and drops into the basket, okay? And disc golf is played just like stick and ball golf. You've got a tee-off area, you have a fairway, and you have a pole hole that you throw into. You have water obstacles, trees, roads, buildings, and many of the courses are now played on golf courses, just like Horsebridge Golf Course here off of Mount Herman. Now has disc golf, and we play at the same time as the golfers, the regular golfers do. And there's a couple other really nice courses in Del Mar that we play on a regular golf course.
Wood Creek.
What's it called?
Wood Creek.
Wood Creek, right, and that's a really fine golf course. Now, we don't normally play at the same time golfers are, because we don't mix very good sometimes. But anyway, the game is, the sport is played just like golf, where every throw is a stroke. And I was partially instrumental in the formulation of disc golf with Ed Hedrick and a whole bunch of other people from California. And I'm currently in the Disc Golf Hall of Fame. I'm class of 1996. We have over 44,000 members in the Professional Disc Golf Association, and my number is 06060. So I've kind of been around for a long time. It's been a lot of fun. And Ronnie called me this summer while I was out practicing for the Worlds. I was in Snow Hill, which also has a disc golf course there. And he asked me if I would come out here and talk with you all fine folks. And that was a very moving resolution piece there, so I really enjoyed listening to what all the dads did, and that's very honored to hear all that. Anyway, I just had a knee operation. I've been only 3 weeks ago, so I'm still walking around. I told Ronnie I wasn't sure I could make this thing or not, but I'm really progressing well. So I had a full total right knee operation after years at NASA, all over the world launching rockets. I'm a retired Navy captain. I've been everywhere in the world with them too, and then playing Fisbee all over the world. It's just finally took a toll. But tonight I'm Captain Snap, and I'm just a backyard frisbee thrower. Does everybody have frisbees here at home? Yeah, okay, and your kids, and maybe you played at Shoemaker. There's a nice frisbee golf course at Shoemaker Park. We ran, by putting that golf course in, I was one of the course designers. We ran an element of people we don't associate with very much, but they were having a lot of problems down there. But now that the disc golfers are in there all the time, those unsavory people are now gone. So the park system is really like that. So we're going to have another, we're putting one in the YMCA in Pocomo. We've got one in Snow Hill. We're putting one in Ocean City. We're putting another one in somewhere in Wycomico County, but I'm not sure where, when. So it's your sons playing this thing, it's your grandsons playing this thing. And just like anybody can have fun, they get real competitive. And in this competition world, we kind of do a service, since the Lions are a service organization. Frisbee golf, disc golf is also very service oriented. We have a St. Jude's tournament in California. We raise thousands of dollars for that children's hospital, the system. We do charity golf tournaments for the food banks of the Eastern Shore down in Virginia and in Maryland. We have these things called ice bowls. When all you guys are sitting in your warm homes with a fireplace, we're out playing in the snow. You just bring cans of food, bring a few dollars, and have a chili cook-off, and all this profit goes to the food bank to the Eastern Shore. So we find a lot of service in this. We do demonstrations at schools. You know how kids at the end of school don't want to do anything? Well, they bring us Frisbee players in. So we get their attention, and a lot of times we'll show off all our skills, and it's just great. Let's see. And we also do some kind of an old folks homes, kind of where the elder Lion Ronnie would be, possibly one of these days. This is a Frisbee golf tin. This is Frisbee pie tin. Really, Frisbee's really started with the Frisbee pie tins, and so this is an actual pie tin. It's a collector's item. It's probably worth a couple $100, even if it's got rust on it. That was made in Connecticut many, many years ago, probably 49, 48, about how old I am. And so that's quite it's an American collectible, so enjoy that. The kind of Frisbees we use now, the old Frisbees we used to use, very soft oriented Frisbee. I used this in the 1976 World Championships at the Rose Bowl. I went to like 7 of them before they moved it east. See how beveled edge? So it would go kind of slow and it wouldn't go very far.
You're a little tiny, Jeff.
Well, that's how it is.
The newer ones are beveled edge.
I just knew you were there.
These are almost lethal. So we have to be very careful when we're throwing these babies in the park, because they will sometimes stick in the ground and people have been hit, and so we have to be very careful in the park so we don't hit people. This one I throw regularly 400 feet. This one maybe 150 to 200. It's just it's an airflow dynamics. This is my putter. And you're closer to the basket, so you don't need to throw it very hard. So it's got a little bit of a beveled edge and a round edge. You would be interested in this. This is, yes, sir.
So you have a bag that has different Frisbees for different,
There it is.
Right. Well, I have a driver. I have an upshot. I have a putter. And depending on the wind, if I want to turn the disc over, let's say the fairway goes over like this. If I want to throw this one, it's going to turn like this one. This one, if I throw, it's going to go this way.
so I can't go out and buy a $25 Frisbee and go play golf.
Yes, sir, you can. And I'll sell you one anytime you want. So, but you need, of course, you need 3 Frisbees at least to start with. A driver, an upshot, and a putter. And then, in case it goes in the water, you need another one, okay? And that's kind of how this thing started. At one time, we, I don't
So my wife will go crazy again,
Yes, she would.
spending all this money on Frisbees.
That's why I have a separate Frisbee account. Ronnie's seen the boxes of Frisbees I've got in my garage. The Holloways would be interested in this one. This has the remains and some bone parts of a cremated Frisbee player. One of the, and I use it as a putter. Now, see if you can't find grains of bone in there. They're little white specks.
Holloway, is that allowed? Good, I wouldn't be a Frisbee when I'm dead. Put me right in one. Put me in my bicycle.
Bone right here.
Okay.
True.
So anyway, on a lighter note, this is an old friend of mine called Big Daddy. His wife and his daughters went to talk to one of the Frisbee manufacturers, and they got him stamped in 200 discs. So, anyway, I use him as a putter because a good friend of mine, ex-Marine, ex-Navy. My mother was a BAM. Let me see, any women in here? Yes. Broad-ass Marine. Okay, back in World War II days. So it's very close to my heart. Just to get off of Frisbee golf for a second, I threw one of these Frisbees, which I'm giving to the Lions Club here. It's one of my Captain Snap Frisbee discs, a signature model. I made a Guinness World Book of Records toss with a similar disc back in '77 at Rutgers. You can see how light that is, so when you throw it, it kind of, the wind just bounces with it. All these other ones are pretty heavy. So they, yes, sir.
Allowed to use a glove like you can in golf, or not?
Yeah, I think some Frisbee players do use a glove, but I don't. When you're throwing,
It's all about feel.
it's all about feel for me and the grip. And some guys have turnaround throws. I just throw a backhand most of the time, but sometimes they're forehands with 2 fingers. There's all kinds of grips because if there's a tree in front of you or here, then you got to throw this way or you got to throw this way. It's just like a golfer would have different clubs.
Now, on that, is your feet positioning? I mean, is there so many
Yeah, there's
steps that you can take or whatever?
In the sanctioning world, we have the Professional Disc Golf Association. We're also sanctioned by the OIC, Olympic Committee now. And that happened this year because we're so structured. You have to have a marker. And you put your marker down right here. That's where your Frisbee landed before. And you have to, so your Frisbee landed there. You got to put the marker there. And then you put your foot right behind it. So that means that, and it's kind of an honor system, but if you're in a foursome, you're always looking at that other guy, believe me. Some people will really call you on it.
Judge Smelling.
And they all have reputations, so everybody knows that. But you have to have at least 1 foot, and you can do a run-up, but you have to have you have to end with your foot right behind your marker disc. And so I have a minis for that, depending on the type. If we're playing in snow, I use black. And in green, I use a kind of a white thing. This one actually glows at night also.
Wow.
But that's, you have marker discs. There's a chip shot, so this is a chip shot disc. This is a roller disc. It's got, it's also glows at night, but it's real heavy because it's got the glow material in the plastic. This is just a good all-around driver. I can throw that 350, 400 every time. Let's see what else I have here. Yeah, I think that's just about it. I don't, what kind of questions do you have? Yes, sir, work?
How did you get started in this? What tempted you to get into it?
I was born and raised in California, and my dad was in the Navy, and we had Frisbees back there. And when I came east, we moved to Annapolis. My dad was teaching at the Naval Academy. He was class of 41. So a lot of times when you go to war and you come back, you have to teach at the Naval Academy. So he was teaching there, and I didn't have any Frisbees, so we went to the Navy Exchange, and the people said, well, we don't know where to get them. And I said, we can get them in California. Whammo, here's one, Whammo Manufacturing. Well, when I went to my first Rose Bowl at Pasadena in '76, I had one of the owners of the Whammo Manufacturing Company come up to me, and we were talking, and he says, so you were the cause of our first government contract. Because the Navy Exchange in Annapolis went to Whammo and asked for Frisbees. They started selling them in Annapolis. But I'm kind of born and raised in it.
So how old were you at that time?
At that time, I was probably, oh gosh, this was 62, 61.
About 30.
About that, about the same age as Ron. Then, old man. No.
You play 9 holes, 18 holes, is it like
We have, a normal course is 18, but a lot of times there are 2 pin placements, so you can move the pins around, you can actually move the tees. Some courses have 27 holes, some of them have 36. The
what
ones
kind of
in
yardage? Kind of yardage?
Yardage is anywhere from, it's a standard, pretty much standard, to have at least 150 feet for a small par 3, and you can have over 1,200 feet for a par 5. And so you're throwing through the woods, you're throwing through the...
What's a good
fairways.
score? I mean,
Well, par 3 for every hole is a 54. So in the pro world, we all think everything's par 3, no matter if it's a par 5 or longer. So if you get a 54, that sucks. But if you're in the 40s, that's really good.
for 18.
Yes, sir. And I know this is on tape. So.
You can't do that for 9.
I know.
It's a fairly cheap sports, recreational sports thing, and a lot of campgrounds have it, a lot of parks have it. And we also go in and help monitor the parks. We help clean the parks up. So and we've got golf. There's probably 10,000 disc golf courses all over the world right now. From Russia to China to Taiwan to the States to all over Canada, South America. North Africa might have a couple now, I don't know. The Middle East, we have some because we've sent so many people over there. Yes, sir.
Sir, do you have a Frisbee dog?
Everybody asks that. And I used to throw with a dog named Dink out of Severna Park, and I've thrown at the Naval Academy at halftime and the Orioles. I don't have one myself, but I do throw with some, and I know a lot of people throw with them regularly.
Is there a special Frisbee for that?
Yeah, pretty much. They, one of these beveled edge discs that are real light, that he can get his, like that, and they're taught not to put holes in them, but, and some of them have these doggy bones, but mainly these called fastbacks. The Whammo Manufacturing Company made these for premiums. They're real cheap, and so you don't really care if the dog puts holes in them or not. But I've got lots of friends, and there's a big thing about dogs and Frisbees, because you've probably seen them on TV and everything all over the place. Yes, Bruce?
In the world of golf, there is compensation made for women. They handicap them. Do you guys handicap for women, or do they play on the same level ground as you guys? Or do they even
If they
play?
want, if they want to play in the open,
Right.
there's no handicap.
No handicap, okay.
They've separated from us pretty much, the guys, and, or we have mixed pairs at the Worlds, and that's a lot of fun to watch, so you get mixed pairs of the two best champions for that Worlds. But the women's have their own World Championship, they have their own pink tournaments, that kind of stuff. The guys are not allowed to play in, but they're allowed to play in the women's division of any tournament. So they can, if we have a tournament at Shoemaker, they'll play in the women's division. And one thing about the reason I'm still in it is because it's age protected. So I can play in the open, but those guys kill me now. But when I was killing everybody before. So, you know, you kind of step up, just take your licks. Yes, sir.
Take your marker one, and how does it go into the, show us how it goes into the hole, or whatever you pole
Well,
hole.
yeah, this pole hole in real life is about almost 6 feet tall. This is just a model.
Okay,
This is actually one of the prizes that I got one time. But what happens is it goes in, Frisbee would go in and, you know, stay in the basket. If it's not in the basket, you don't get a score. If it falls out, then you gotta put it in again. But this is, I meant to say that this is just a model. And
I knew that, but I didn't know if it went in
How do
sideways.
you cut
if
it? You just go like this.
If it falls out, then I mean.
If it falls out, then you have to re-putt. You just put
Oh,
it
you go
in.
back to your previous mark?
No, you
Yeah,
put,
drop
wherever
it.
it sits on the ground, you
Oh,
put
if
it
it
back.
sits right under the thing.
Then that's an easy putt.
That's an
Just
easy
like
putt.
if you were hitting a golf ball and it went to the lip, you
Yeah.
got an easy putt.
I would just set it in.
Yeah, just set it in. You don't have to. But I've seen many times where somebody got excited and there was a disc already in there, and the guy says, "Oh, I'm just gonna putt out," boom, and then it goes out. So you better just wait until somebody takes their disc out and then put it in, yeah. I know somebody who lost $3,000 on a putt like that. So, you have to be careful. Yes, sir.
He used to play at the old course down in the Park, not Shoemaker Park.
Yes.
You remember that one? That was,
Yes.
it had tees, but it didn't have any official holes. It was, you know, the cannon was a hole and
Right.
the tree was a hole. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, me, Gary Robinson, maybe you, Charlie Brown of Charlie Brown's Glass Company, Dave Solers. You guys might know some of these guys. We had a park, a course in the park, and there's still cement markers in the ground, and we used, it's called natural object course. We used the cannon, we used a big tree, we used the side of the bandstand, I can't remember what it was, but that went all the way around the park, and we had the Maryland State Frisbee Championship at one time, and a couple of times, even at Salisbury State before they put some of those big buildings in. But yeah, that was a great course. When we were using these,
Right.
you know, the light plastic they call it, because this kind of plastic wouldn't go very. I could throw the whole park now in this in one throw.
The other question I have is, do you do much with Ultimate?
What was that?
Do you do much with Ultimate?
Oh, I started in Ultimate.
Oh, really?
You know, I don't know if you know what Ultimate Frisbee is, but it's a 7-man non-contact, in quotes, team sport. It's like soccer, but it's with Frisbee going back and forth. And that now is at the Olympic stage. It may be in the Olympics, Summer Olympics, maybe 2 Summer Olympics from now. But it's on TV, it's on ESPN.
Big in
As in
college.
Diggs.
College travel team.
College, you have a guy here that used to be one of the maintenance managers at Salisbury State, Chris Roberts. He was also the women's ultimate coach, and they won the nationals. And that's a big thing in the college. I mean, every college throws ultimate now.
Is that the game they played in front of Holloway Hall?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, see, but
And many times I would just go over there and have a pickup game. Also, in one of the high schools that has, where's the high school that's got the garden? There's a floor, Parkside.
Parkside,
There's another there's another place out there that you can go pick up ultimate co-ed almost at any point. Any of those people are Salisbury SU graduates. I'm showing my age, Salisbury State. Yes, sir.
Do you have, like age group divisions when you get older?
Yes, that's what I was saying. It's age protected
Right.
in the sense that it's,
They keep inventing them.
You keep
we
what?
want to keep playing.
No,
Keep
you,
inventing them.
no, it's age group.
Yeah.
It's age
So you
group.
win if attrition helps you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I tell you what, the competition.
It helps me. Oh, it's awful.
Competition, all the people that I grew up with going to the Rose Bowl and World Championships are now all kind of in the same age group. So we're just dog eat dog fighting it out at tournaments all over the place. Whether it's in the non-golf tournaments, which is overall tournaments, distance and freestyle and MTA and self-caught flight and disc golf, and there's I'm an overall player also, and so but yeah, it's you've got Open, Masters, Grandmasters, Senior Grandmasters, which I'm a Senior Grandmaster unless I want to go down and play in the other ones just for competition. But I still want to win money, so I stay in my division. And then there's Legends.
How accurate are you when you throw it? I mean,
I'm
there's
very
all
accurate. I've
different-
got the current world record in accuracy.
Well, like if you came over here and stood here and threw it at Bruss and he doesn't move, could you like bop him in the nose? Don't move.
Hands behind your back.
Yeah, you can be a goalpost. Right?
I want you to turn around.
All right. Nice.
That's pretty.
I say it's pretty accurate.
There you go.
There's all kinds of ways of throwing them.
Just warming up.
Anyway, you have to be accurate in order to be good in golf, just like
Yeah.
regular golf.
That's like,
But you have to, if you can't throw it accurately, you're not going to play.
yeah.
You're not going to be playing in the second round or the final. Yes, sir.
Sponsorship, Whammo obviously is a big sponsor, how about other, the money trail?
Right now, the money trail comes from the manufacturers. It's kind of self-serving, just like anything else is. Their better players are going out to, with their teams and winning. They get sponsorship in magazines. This is one of the magazines. I mean, look at how many tournaments are. That's probably 2 months worth of tournaments in the United States and parsley. But there's the sponsors are sponsoring everything. Dynamic discs. There's
lots more than
Innova.
now,
So
right?
they get big sponsorship. They have guys that go off in bands, and they go to tournament in we have national tours, and that brings in more people. They buy more Fisbees. It's a great capitalist sport. God bless America.
Hey,
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you.